Yo-ho! Well, I'm gonna let that airplane go by. Man. Alright. Finally able to get outside after having been seeing clients all day. No, I don't push, pull, lift, or drag. I guess for a living. But when you're in the counseling field, social work counseling field, it's just like push, pull, lifting, and dragging. I may not get sore muscles, from here, and my back and legs and stuff. I'm doing like construction work or roofing and any of that stuff. But up here, you're dealing with clients who, got stuff going on. It's tough. You have to use every muscle up here in an effort to help to bring some solutions or some type of mental, emotional solace to the clients that you're treating. So, and I don't take this thing for granted. So what's up, it's your man Rico the Opinionist. Y'all please like, share, and subscribe. Whew, man. So I decided to come outside, take a walk, and enjoy what's left of the evening or the day. I don't think I may have a couple of appointments on tomorrow. That'll be great. Shit. But anyway, I enjoy what I do. I love being a counselor. I love being a therapist. Well, I'll say counselor because I'm master's license level, yeah. Not my top license in my field yet, but I'm getting there. So I refer to myself as a counselor. Now, some folks who have the same credentials I have call themselves therapists and psychotherapists. They lying. But anyway, that's not why I'm on here. Look, y'all know education is a big deal. Education is a big deal. And the education of our children should be an even bigger deal. And across the country, when they talk about urban schools and private school education and all that stuff, like in these academies and things like that, urban versus suburban education, well, that'll be a long time debate. But a lot of us came up through public education. But it's something that has gone awry. I don't know if it's the administrators, the superintendents, and all these chiefs of staffs, and all these folks that, school board members all this stuff. Something has fallen off because children in the public school systems, particularly that mainly service like black kids, they don't seem to be producing like they used to. I'm a proud graduate of Fraser High School. Shout out to Fraser Rams out there, my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. And I also went to my beloved Cypress Junior High School. Shout out to Howell Street, where Cypress Junior High School is. It's called Kip Academy or something now. Boo! But it was all about Cypress Junior High School. Went to elementary school, to Hollywood Elementary there in the north. No, I'm just North Memphis bound. And I went to for 5th and 6th grade. I went to Kingsbury Junior High. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Kingsbury Elementary. I never made it to the high school or junior high because I went to Kingsbury for the 5th and 6th grade and came back out. And for 3rd and 4th, Hollywood Elementary. 1st and 2nd grade, I went to Wells Station Elementary. Then I went to Kingsbury. Then I came back home to my neighborhood, Hollywood. Shout out. Went to Hollywood Elementary School. Great. Then junior high school, I went to the Cypress Junior High School. 7th, 8th. This one, it was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade before they started this middle school stuff. Intermediate, middle school, high school before they started all of that. Of course, these were the 70s and 80s when I was in elementary school and junior high and high school. I came out of Fraser High School in 88. So, and I went off to college. Shout out to Grambling State University and got an awesome education out of my HBCU and came out with with 2 bachelor's and associates, undergraduate degree, and I stayed there and received my master's degree in social work. When I came home, I worked the job, one of the jobs in substance abuse, one of my first jobs in substance abuse counseling. I had to learn it, so I went to Southwest in 2000 and received a certificate just to give me a little more understanding of treating clients with substance abuse issues. So I went over there and got this certificate. It's like 7 or 8 classes. Oh man, it was so awesome. It was it's called Certificate of Substance Abuse Counseling in Groups. And I'm off and running because not long after that, I learned about not only treating people who are dealing with, going through like 12 steps and the whole addictions and relapse and all of that cool stuff. In 2004, I learned about what is, I think it's finally taken over. It's called co-occurring disorders. When co-occurring disorders are being dually diagnosed is when you have an issue, you're dealing with substance abuse or dependence or addiction, as well as a diagnosed mood disorder, bipolar disorder, major depression, PTSD, schizophrenia, bipolar 2. You have them both going on. And so I learned that, and that turned out to be my favorite population, because I've done all kinds of groups and stuff and individuals, but I really enjoyed my what they call the COPS-D groups, co-occurring substance psychiatric groups, psychiatric disorders. And so, yeah, 26 years, 27, something like that, and counting. And so I said all that to say, well, Rico, why'd you give out your whole educational and your experience and your certifications and your licenses? And oh yeah, I'm a licensed master's social worker in my home state of Tennessee. And here in Texas, I'm a licensed chemical dependency counselor. I've been doing them both for years. So now I'm in private practice. Because y'all don't know, I just started about a couple of months ago. It's called a work in progress. So I deal with anger, substance abuse, co-occurring disorders, and I'm targeting it towards men. And I'm working on my clients, and if you need help, y'all holler at me. Anger, substance abuse, behavioral life coaching. Oh, it's all. I don't know if you want a copy of. If you want to see the website, I'm gonna leave it in this chat. You can go and click on and see what I offer and see the prices and all that. Who knows? Set up an appointment. Let's do this. But I brought all that up to say this. And y'all know the Cash App is always popping on this Facebook page, as well as in the description box on YouTube. I brought all that up to say this. My hometown, Memphis, Tennessee, has been having issues with the Memphis Shelby County schools for the longest. The whole deal with them running out the current, the former superintendent, because it sounded like she was in there trying to make some changes that the old guard didn't particularly care for. And then on the other end, you had, there were folks who were upset because she was trying to make some people do some work that they weren't doing. They thought they were supposed to sit on their ass and just suck up paychecks. And this lady came in and tried to make some much needed changes. But, the big old controversy, and I hope she prevails in the end. Either she gets a big payoff or she, gets her job back and everybody else is run off. So, and they put in the I call it the shadow superintendent, and who they wanted, and probably the get along gang. So what has happened, and I'll get to it, y'all. Y'all know I like to talk first, but I'm gonna get to it. So most recently, the scores have come out for the TCAP test. For us, back in the day, it was called the California Achievement Test, but now in Tennessee, it's called the TCAPs. And before all of this, the kids were barely reading at the grade level. I think only 3 to 5% were reading at grade level. So what's happening now is people are trying to pat themselves on the back because I guess the score was raised about 4 points or something. And people are feeling excited about that. I said, great, okay, cool. But then you have 75% of students still don't read at grade level. So I guess it's like a bittersweet outcome. But the question becomes, why aren't our children, why aren't they being taught appropriately, or why can't they learn? Why can't they learn? It appears that they either can't learn or somebody's on the job and not doing their jobs. And so the superintendent was on the local news there. The current interim superintendent was on the local news there in my hometown of Memphis. He was saying, well, you know, they shouldn't compare urban school scores to those of suburban schools because, you know, the urban schools and the kids, you know, they face so many challenges. You know, some of them with a lot of the trauma that they go through, and I mean, like it's trying lack of resources that they have. Some of them can't hardly get up and go to school. And so, hold on one second, y'all. Adimu said, couldn't you have obtained such a certificate without college? I think so, but you can't get a job with that certificate. That's more like an educational thing. For me, I got the certificate so I can learn more about it. That's a specific thing. And when I chose as my concentration when I was in school, I chose mental health, and I started off with substance abuse, and then after that I went into mental health, and so I wanted to make sure I was more proficient in it. That's why I added that to it. So I'm assuming, but you can always call up there and ask them, can we get that certificate of substance abuse counseling in groups? Without a college degree, I don't know. All I know is I knew I needed more education as it relates to that specific topic, substance abuse treatment. But I wanted to know what I was doing and know what I was talking about. So I hope that answers your question. But you can always call Southwest and ask them what are the qualifications. Probably just need a high school diploma to get that certificate. But, you know. So as I was saying, he was saying, well, don't compare urban schools with the suburban schools, you know, because I guess they're looking at Colleyville and Germantown and Lakeland, whatever the school system is, and out there in the suburbs. And my thing is, you know, of course, when he said, hey, what's up, Dion? What's up, Andre Pierce? Martin Johnson, what's up? And so I heard him say that, and it's something that touched my soul, because I said, here we are again, when we were saying, well, you know, it was too poor. They were too traumatized to read or learn or want to go to school. But I can't help but go back in history. You know, in history, when we were segregated in Jim Crow, and the books were less than the so-called white schools and all that, how come our children then were still able to read, still able to learn, even under those conditions, systematically? They were still able to learn how to read because the teachers there had a different attitude. And for me, you know, I grew up in North Memphis, single mom, no father. I had uncles who, one of them claimed to be a pimp. He whooping his hoe in my living room on school nights. And alcoholism ran rampant, fighting and cussing. And hell, I used to think the police only knew our address on the weekends. It was called so much. You know, and I knew the schedule of when the food stamps ran out, the welfare checks came on the first of the week. See here, this is how it went. The food stamps came, and you know, they bought groceries, you know, went up to Hoganot. If you don't know North Memphis, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out 38108. Went up to Hoganot, got the groceries and all that. That lasts like 2 or 3 weeks and two, because a lot of kids and a lot of us in that house. And that lasts through, and then toward the last week of the month, it got tough. And luckily, my mother, grandma, and auntie, they knew to save, have a bag of pinto beans, and they knew to have some meal, self-rising meal, and self-rising flour, and some sugar was left. Had a couple of eggs left, and they made cornbread. And we had pinto beans and cornbread until then. That next week, between the 1st and the 3rd, the welfare checks came. And so they go and buy some food because the next few days after that, the food stamps came. That's when it was coming in books. Y'all remember the books, food stamps? Okay, don't play. And so it came in books, and then here we go. I knew the schedule. So when people get to talking about in 2025, hell, even in the 2000s, people, oh yeah, let me go back. And then I was there when crack first hit the city. I saw the change right away. And if y'all lived in the 80s and early 90s in Memphis and across America in any black neighborhood or majority black city, that crack man came through like hell, like that flood did in South Texas. It came through like a winter solace. Next thing you know, everything was just, changed within probably a month or so. I remember that first summer we were playing Captain May I. I was at Cypress then. Hold on a second. I was at Cypress Junior High School then, because some dudes at Cypress started selling dope. And there was a lot of shooting, and young men, 14 and 17 years old, getting killed, found dead, all that, and money was flowing. So I came through, and then of course dudes tried to claim they was in gangs and all that. My brother and I made through all of that. We made choices. We decided not to sell no dope. We decided not to kick in nobody's door, none of that stuff, right? And so, and guess what? For those of you who say, because somebody told me, well, you were blessed. Well, I ain't got shit to do with being blessed. It's about having some common sense and love for yourself. Because my response was, I wasn't blessed. I wasn't lazy. And my mother didn't use being poor and being a single mom as a barrier for us not to go to school. My mother made sure we went to school every day, every morning. Y'all know if you had a black mama, you tried to get up and try to skip school. Oh, my stomach hurt. Well, that's all right. Go to school and eat breakfast. It'll stop hurting. Go to school, eat lunch. It'll stop hurting. And shit, they had the little breakfast and lunch, and we was straight. So today, not that I'm some kind of uppity elitist, I'm over that. No, I'm not. I'm broke right now. However, we got to stop as black folks, stop pushing this. I don't know if it's a Democratic thing, because every time you mention Democrat, well, they help the poor folks. And so now, and I'm going to go back to that superintendent when he said on the news, well, they have a lot of barriers. Some of them, where they come from, they don't have the resources and all this, as opposed to the kids in the suburbs. And I want to remind everybody, Memphis City School damn near has a budget of $1.2 billion. So I hope he wasn't alluding to funding. I hope he wasn't in there. That's why you had to have a damn leadership change. They were taking all the money, pocketing most of the damn school budget. Did y'all know that Memphis City Schools, Memphis Shelby County Schools gets damn near $1 billion budget? And so the question is, what y'all doing with that money? So he gets on the news, well, they shouldn't compare those schools, urban schools with suburban schools. Well, I can take a kid from the urban schools and take him back to 1970 or take him 1950, and a black kid from an underfunded whatever school, and we'll out-talk, out-think, and outright him today. So we keep playing these games. And now we're teaching black kids and cause you po. Well, no. Grown people got to take responsibility. Grown people have to take responsibility. And I didn't like that highly educated doctorate of education toting superintendent get on there talking about some goddamn poverty or so-called trauma. If you black growing up in a lot of these black neighborhoods, there's trauma and there's poverty going on. But somehow, not just me, it was a lot of us came on through the Memphis City Schools. And I look back, I said, what was the difference? Because a lot of us were poor, and it was cool. A A lot of us had through trauma and drama, but we still went to school. Oh, this is what it was. We had principals. We had cafeteria ladies. We had coaches. I said we had teachers that gave a damn. That was the difference. Because it sounded like, even when I went to Grambling, my HBCU in the 90s, what makes it so wonderful whenever those of us who all attended HBCUs, when we talk about our HBCU, we always talk about the dedication of our professors and how they would let us know, look, let me tell you something. Your mother or your father or your grandmother or your grandfather didn't spend their money here for you to be sleeping in my damn class. Or if it was if you were lacking something, they would say, come here, baby, what's wrong? That is what's missing in the school system. It's not funding, it's people giving a damn. That's what's happening. And the children are learning because the teachers don't give a damn. Not all, but y'all know who you are. Because the ones who give a damn are outnumbered by those who just there sucking up a goddamn check. And the people who are sucking up a goddamn check are the ones who making all the money. And not doing anything to contribute to the success of the students. That's what's going on, Mr. Superintendent. And all y'all who trying to come to his rescue because he's your fraternity brother, that shit going on too. Y'all want me to start talking about them again, do you? Yeah, they in charge of everything. The black Greeks in charge of everything. City council, the mayor, school board, and everything that system that's going on is failing. Hell, even HBCUs, the black Greeks have been the president, they still the presidents, VPs, deans, and the damn HBCUs are falling apart. So maybe we need to look at this thing a little different and stop acting like the kids can't, because they're kids. They're children. Hell. And so shadow superintendent, don't get your ass on the news talking about some poverty. Why don't you, if you're going to be the superintendent, won't you have a meeting and say, look, y'all, these test scores suck. And y'all, if you don't want to be here, well, I understand they just had a job fair for the Memphis-Shelby County school system. And I hope people who want to be there, matter of fact, I hope it's people who actually love black kids are the ones applying for these new education positions. Teaching and guidance counselor and school social worker and principal. And I hope that it's people who actually love black children. Because all this nonsense we got going on now, black children should not be reading on grade level in 2025. All this damn technology and black kids still can't fucking read. You passing somebody to 11th grade, but he or she can't read, especially the black boys. Because boys don't seem to, catch on to education as tough as girls, because girls are always encouraged. And boys, just like historically speaking, boys are always encouraged to go out to work. When we get into who's more educated, well, not about that. Who's pushed more towards education, and that's girls. If they broke it down, I guarantee you the scores would be a little higher than girls and boys, and a lot of times it's based on attendance. And if you're teaching black boys, you need to have curriculums that cater to the movement and the attitude and the experience of black boys. That's a true educator. You find the child and you construct and you personalize a curriculum that suits them. Black boys learn differently. Black boys behave different, move about differently in schools. And so, if there were people there who inspire black boys from the first grade on up to want to read and want to be in school, well, the scores would be higher. Y'all want to do is put a football in a black boy's hand. Y'all want to hand him a basketball all damn day. Y'all want to, what else? Basketball, football, and what else? That's about it. Oh, yeah. If you think he can rap, you're trying to encourage him to be a rapper. But then you want to make excuses for these poor-ass scores. Children, 75% of the damn students are not reading on grade level. That explains a lot of the violence. Because people who are not uneducated, a lot of kids who can't read, well, they're insecure. Did y'all know that the people who start the most shit, who start the most fights and keep up the most dust are those who are less educated? Yeah. They so upset and so insecure that they'll start stuff with kids who trying to learn. Ain't fuck you need that reading for, man. Ain't gonna do nothing for you. It went on when I was in school, and I know it's going on even triple right now. So I need y'all to stop pushing that poor narrative, because the same thing you're talking about. Well, they don't have the resources and they don't have all the support they need. How y'all doing? Hey, you know, we were just walking this beautiful park that I go running in sometimes, and so, you know, it's just amazing. And I want to say to that superintendent, you know, folks, if you call him poor and traumatized, now, this is gonna take me into something else. I may do a separate video, or should I just go and lump it into this? Because all of it plays a part when we're talking about kids being poor and all this stuff. And being low income is a real thing, but it should not, you know, it should not define who you are as a person. It should never. Then of course all the comfortable Negroes. Well, you know, you try to learn on the empty stomach. You try, you know. Well, don't y'all have counselors at school? God damn it! Don't y'all serve breakfast like you're supposed to in a decent one? So what you talking about? Yeah, talking about people are hungry. They probably be hungry at home, but I wasn't hungry at school. We need to get back to the way we used to do stuff. Y'all forgot. Y'all have gotten so privileged. Many of you have gotten so comfortable in captivity that you forgot how we used to make it when Jim Crow was kicking our grandparents, great grandparents in the ass, but they still made do with what they had. But it's interesting how we always love to brag about, you know, we had Black Wall Street, you know, we had Rosewood, we had the Harlem Renaissance. All that was done based on people having their own ingenuity because they couldn't go nowhere else. Y'all remember that? I mean, those of you who read history, and we had all these movies talking about it. We had nothing but still made something. So I don't know how you uppity, coddled, privileged Negroes today. Oh my goodness. They poor. They can't learn. Ooh, they so hungry. They can't even get to school. Nigga, please. It's not a third world country. Y'all are playing, instead of being black, a lot of you so-called educated Negroes with the PhDs and high master degrees and all that, you leaned into your degree and leaned less off of your humanity and even less off of your blackness. You're the problem. There's no kid that should be hungry because we are addressing the wrong things. Hell, we ain't no third world country. We allow a lot of nonsense. And so we become so privileged and coddled. And then you lean into your politics. You're so Democrat. Y'all know the Democrats, they only succeed if you're poor. Did y'all know that? They don't want to see you make no money. They don't want to see you be a capitalist, make any money. Now, a few of you can. That's not what they preach. And those of us who got good sense, like, man, damn them and their policies and their politics. Damn them. All they like to do is see black folks poor and in the ghetto and keep the ghetto the ghetto. I don't understand why the fuck. Let me stop cussing. I don't know why y'all keep voting Democrats. Every time I go home, you can go to Dallas, wherever city and state you live in, go to the black neighborhood, and I guarantee you the representative, the city council, the state representative, the congressman is a Democrat. But then the same person is talking all that about they so poor. Oh, the trauma, they can't learn to read. Oh, I declare. Live in a white suburb. Get your ass on with somewhere, sir. Who you think you talking to? Y'all just go. Don't get mad at me. Go and take a look. Take a look. I said it's stupid. But, yeah. Your politics is weird. So therefore, you act weird towards blacks that you think you're better than. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we're going to have to stop this poverty narrative because you're doing a disservice to black kids. Yeah. But you hate on black conservatives, you hate on conservatives. Well, one thing about it, those of you in Memphis and in the city you live in, the white suburb that you moved yourself into and got your black child and the only black child in the school that they go to and private school, they only black kid, guess what that is? A conservative goddamn space. But y'all letting black kids die under this liberal bullshit. while y'all kids thrive under conservatism. Y'all want me to keep talking? I'll stop when y'all want me to stop. So they ain't nothing but a bunch of liberal democratic bullshit. The very folks, they're so poor. Oh, they're too hungry. The trauma, they can't learn to read. Oh. Why you got your ass in an all-white suburban neighborhood that's ran by conservatives and even MAGA Republicans? Shut the fuck all the way up, please. Shut up. Of course, not all. I was just saying. Everything I say is not about all, but y'all know who they are. And hell, it might be you. You might be one of them. But I digress. Did I say hello to you, Amanda? Hey. So, Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, he's written the books. I ain't never seen such a highly educated group of blacks today. They weren't as educated, 50 to 100 years ago and made all those strides. Did y'all know that? Our generation in the last 30 years, 40 years, 50 years are the most educated. But still, our kids are left behind. So what's going on? Now, those of you who decide to go in the education field. Now, I'm in social work. I deal with the mental health part of it and the substance use disorder aspect of it. That's what I do. But those of you who swear you educators, y'all fail. Y'all so educated you can't even come up with solutions, real solutions, to get black people, black kids out of poverty, black kids out of these old weird-ass fucked up schools. But then get mad when they say, hey, let's pass a law in the state that we just get some vouchers and get them kids out of there. Well, y'all not making a great plea or put out any great advertisement to make people want to stay in the public schools. Again, Memphis City schools, Memphis Shelby County schools, and other urban schools, especially Memphis, gets about $1.some billion. That's the budget. Now, how much of that is actually going on the kids? So when I hear people say stuff about poor and all of that, so poor and they can't do it and all that, that's all y'all full of mess. Y'all stepping envelopes under the table while the kids are suffering. But I digress. I was about to say, Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu wrote 3 books. The first 2 were awesome. Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. He has YouTube videos, but I guarantee you so-called highly educated, highly degreed, highly decorated blacks won't go and humble yourself and listen, go back and watch his videos or buy his books. They're this thin. They only cost like $12 each. You can get them on Amazon when y'all get everything else. And maybe you need to take the rest of this year off and read and go back to who we were. Because who we are now is not that great. We need to go back to who we were as it relates to creativity and doing for self. And then I don't understand. It's just like how America treats veterans. They treat veterans like shit here. No veteran should even have. Why we got homeless veterans? That's a whole nother video. But I'm making this comparison to black kids. They treat veterans like shit, and we treat black kids like shit. We have no value for them. But I don't understand. All of us gonna get old. If we don't properly nurture the young up under us, how the fuck we expect them to be anything? Or to be somebody that want to look out for us when we reach 80 or 75. I've never heard such a thing. It's the weirdest thing how we treat black kids. We make excuses so we can keep. Now, we would use black kids to get these nonprofits to get all these thousands upon thousands, even millions of dollars in grant dollars for the sake of poor black kids. Did y'all know in that majority black city of mine that most of the nonprofits that's supposed to be dealing with poor kids are ran and owned, created by white folks? We can't even capitalize off our own poverty. It's a damn shame. Some of the biggest contracts from the Memphis Shelby County school system go to Caucasians. Have y'all been to that children's poverty thing on Jefferson? The whole board is white. And it's supposed to be dealing with black kids and their poverty. But I'll probably say it too much. Y'all let me know when I need to stop talking. I've had enough of the nonsense. I've been had enough. Hell, that's why I left 17 years ago. Because it's some nonsense. It's like it's gotten worse. Then people get mad when national figures point out what we already know, what y'all already know in my hometown. When Stephen A. Smith told the truth about it, and even to his credit, and I can't stand that old funk-ass Roland Martin, but he told the truth about Memphis that time. How y'all majority black city, and y'all don't even, and black folks don't even get at least 40 to 50% of all the contracts. But then y'all get mad about that. But y'all really mad at Stephen A. when he only said out loud on a larger platform what black folks say every day in Memphis, this crime is out of order. You can't hardly be there. He just put it in perspective of the NBA players. But y'all get mad at Stephen A. Then you want to rally around crime to call yourself clapping back at him. And most recently, the mayor had somebody on his porch with a rope and duct tape. But then y'all want to attack Stephen A. And I don't give a shit about Stephen A. But one thing about it, even a broke clock is correct twice a day. So when a broke clock is tell the right time, I'm looking at it. So with Stephen A. no funk ass Roland Martin say something that makes sense or the truth, I'm there. Rest of the time, I ain't got to deal with either one of them. And we have to get our heads out our ass and stop acting like it's other things that's causing us not to progress. It's mental health and also self-inflictions, self-sabotage. Because we've been done a number. But the so-called educated or the elite class, they've made a living off of black people's issues and made a great living off of black kids. And I don't like it. But it's your man Rico. Rico the Opinionist. Please like, share, and subscribe. And then I forgot, I'm going to put my company's website, the link to my company on here. For anybody who needs, And I do telehealth, so I advertise it to men, but I don't turn anybody away who may need that help. My prices aren't all over the place. A lot of counseling sessions like $110, $85 to $110. Yeah, I got a special going, $50 an hour. Yeah, I got a light bill to pay too, and I'm selling myself short. I'm just trying to make it accessible to whoever might want to do it. But this is what I was trying to say. Don't let me go yet, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna do a separate video, but I'm gonna say it again right now, just in case y'all watch this to the end. All these back to school drives, when I was talking about poverty, and using it as an excuse for not progressing in life. And I know nonprofits do this, churches and some nonprofits. Hey, I understand that, they have to spend their money or they want to put in the record books that they did something, blah, blah, blah. But if you got a politician, and it's any city where you live, let you know how sorry these politicians are and how cheap they are. If you got a mayor of your city, city councilman, school board, any elected official doing a goddamn back to school drive, backpacks and all that, don't vote for them. Because they are in position to do things way bigger than a goddamn backpack, back to school. They're the mayor of the city. They're the city councilman. They're on boards. They have access to millions of dollars where they can really help black kids and in the black community. So don't y'all let these mayors, these city councilmen, these county commissioners say, we're having the mayors back to school. Don't let them do that. That's a cheap way of getting your vote. That's a cheap ass way of getting your vote. And don't let them do that. I watched it in my hometown. I watched it here in Dallas. I watched it all over. No, that's cheap. What y'all should be doing is going to the mayor's office, city councilman, your city councilman, city council representative, your county commissioner representative, your state representative, anybody who try to pull that crap off. Hey, we don't need no goddamn back to school. What we need is at least $50 to $150 million poured into my neighborhood for jobs, better housing. And let's get some institutes built in my district that actually help with some education or educating a lot of our young people, our young men on some trades. How about that? I guarantee you they won't come in your face again. We start asking your demanding something for your vote for these lame ass politicians, then you'll be thinking not with the poverty mindset, but with an actual progressive mindset for your district and most importantly, for your children. We around here excited because the damn mayor, the damn city council, the school board member, the county commissioner, they came out. We was having a block party and they showed up. Yeah, to get votes. They don't give a shit. You got to start demanding. Y'all wonder why Collierville, Germantown, and all those look the way they look, and anyone who lives in Dallas or anywhere, they're suburbs. Well, number one, a lot of those suburbs are, Caucasian conservative Republicans. But also, the people already got a demand. This is what we want. This is how we want it to look. And we need the money spent to reflect that. But black folks in these urban areas don't know to demand the money. You pay taxes every day. You go and vote for these people and you put them in charge of millions of dollars. And you don't demand an institute be built or money to be siphoned into your community to redo the landscape. That doesn't have to mean gentrification, but improvements because you're there. Hey, people playing games. But anyway, y'all stop letting, and also you politicians, y'all ain't helping. Y'all doing it, and then for the nonprofits to do it, y'all not helping the so-called poor. Oh, they're so poor. Oh, they're grabbing trauma. And I'm not playing down anybody's trauma, anybody's poverty. I came through the same goddamn thing. And so many people who look like me did. So y'all stop that. Stop that bullshit lame narrative. And you blessed. No, goddamn it, it's not I'm blessed. I wasn't lazy. I didn't buy into the poverty mindset. And my mother didn't either. She didn't want that for us. So don't y'all do that. Don't do that. Stop doing it. And when you do these programs, don't y'all know? Hold on. I don't want nobody to hear me say this. But don't y'all know that as soon as school is out, that these so-called poor folks know that school starts back at the same time every year? Hush your mouth. And did you know that they walk past Dollar Tree, Ross, and all these stores that sell uniforms and school supplies all summer? Yeah, they do. And did you know that these same poor folks y'all have these backpacks drives to? They be going to the movies and going to the fairground like Six Flags and stuff. They be going to restaurants to eat, and the women be going and getting their nails done without a appointment missed, and getting their hair done in $200 and $300, $400 bundles, and they $300 worth of makeup, and the young men have on Jordans, and the little chicks have on whatever the latest women's styles are, and their outfits. Y'all didn't know that, did you? So all of a sudden, when they come back to school, y'all making them poor again? Y'all, come on, man. This shit can't be that easy. You know, it's helping those folks who cannot. No, it's called taking responsibility, accountability. So y'all stop letting these folks make y'all poor. Labeling y'all poor. The folks who line up around the damn mayor's office and line up around a parking lot to get the damn school supplies. You walk past the damn school supplies all summer. They're $1. It's in Dollar Tree. You can stock up. You can stock up that crap all summer. And then uniforms. Y'all know they gotta have uniforms every summer. I mean, every fall. Y'all walk past the store where they sell uniforms all summer. So y'all please, just stop it, all right? Now, I'm out of here. It's your man Rico, the opinionist. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm about to put that link in here right now. Y'all be cool. I'll talk to y'all in the future. Peace.